Okay, okay, now I thought you were going to draw a list. You must understand actually mean in the stages of Abhidhamma. Here just only simple just say stages. But I want to put a little more information. So in the four stages of Abhidhamma, 4 stages of the jhana, according to the sutta, how many factors are there?
The first jhana?
No, according to sutta.
Oh.
5. 4.
Yeah. And according to Abhidhamma, there are 5 factors are there, right? And which factor is not there?
One pointness.
Yeah, one pointness factor is not there. Okay. Now just remember that. And then according to the second jhana, how many factors are there in the sutta?
3. 4.
Sutta.
No, sutta, okay, or sutra in Sanskrit. Sutra or sutta. In sutta or sutra. So how many factors are there?
4.
Which 4?
Inner
Samadhi
serenity.
jump, piti sukha, and what's the last one?
Sita.
And Dutya jhana.
Dutya jhana is not the factors.
Inner serenity, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness.
Yeah. How many are there?
4.
4.
Okay. And then, no, actually, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4. And then in Abhidhamma, how many factors are there?
4.
Like Vibhanga, Abhidhamma. There are 4, right? But the 4, which one is not there, which is there?
So the vitaka and vichara are gone. And now you have sampasada.
No, but that's Abhidhamma also has Sampasada, so it is the same thing.
Comparing those.
Compared to Sutta to Abhidhamma.
Same.
So they have the serenity is the same, the sukha is the same, that means the happiness is the same, the joy is the same. But the difference is there's no one-pointness also in the sutta, okay? But actually you could say in the second jhana, according to sutta, you have arisings of the samadhi, samadhi jhana, okay? Why? Because according to this belief that when you have the applied thought and sustained thought, you still can be easily been disturbed, like water, the pond of water disturbed by the wave. Okay, get it now? And the third jhana, and how many factors are there in sutta?
3.
What are these 3?
Upekkha, sati, and sukha.
Okay, that also can you can get by that.
Mindfulness and happiness.
And then according to Vibhanga,
5.
Equanimity, mindfulness, comprehension.
no. According to Vibhanga, the 5 is for the sutta, but according to Abhidhamma, the 5 is for the sutta, but 2 is only there, sukha and citta ekagata. Okay, the happiness and the mind one-pointness. In the 4th jhana, so how many factors are there?
1 or 2.
No, you could just say simple 1. Just only upekkha sati parisuddhi, mean the equanimity, the purity of equanimity. Okay,
Mindfulness.
so yeah, the purity of mindful, the mindfulness equanimity. Yeah. But according to the Abhidhamma, they say that for the sutta there are 3 factors. There are the equanimities, mindfulness, and one-pointness, right? But in Abhidhamma, it's just only 2. That means equanimity and the one-pointness. Okay, a little complicated. Why we need to say this thing? We know there's a list of different, but because of course this is certainly with this you can write a lot of paper already, and you could find that evidence, blah blah blah, and this and that, why and so. But let's just back to the Abhidhamma. It's much easier. In Abhidhamma, they say when someone in the first jhana, what they have.
Abhidhamma, Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, and Siddhasa Ekagata.
Okay, so according to the Abhidhamma, you have Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata in the first jhana. And of course, we also understand in Abhidhamma, what are these? Anyone know what we are talking about? No. It means, actually, I want to tell you, when someone in the jhana, remember we learned in the last paragraph, last chapter, last subtitle, we talk about you have reached to the access concentration when you look at the table. Look at the table 5, right? Can you see that table 5? When you have the table 5, you see that there were one way 5 stages of joy to reach to the jhana, to come to the access concentration, and then you have 3 sides to reach to this access concentration, and then according to Asanga stage of calm technique, then you have to find 9 stages of mind. Then you reach to the access concentration. You see that, right? So once you have the access concentration, and then it's believed that once you have access concentration, and then when the 5 hindrances are completely gone, and then you'll be reached to the Vitakka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata. That's Abhidhamma way to say it, okay?
Limbs.
Right? That's why they call it as a 5 limbs. And the 5 limbs, it means that you are in that kind of mental state, you will feel Vitakka, Vichara. Or literally mean Vitakka mean you will feel that you will know that your mind is towards the side. And then you know the side. You're towards the side, you know the side. So that means Vitakka, so sometimes we say applied thought. Sometimes we translate exam. Is it exam? Sustained. No, sustained is the second one. No, it's whatever. Actually, the word taka, something more like you chase after. Okay, so you kind of like this is mean surrounding it, and one is chasing it, surrounding it, chasing it, surrounding it. That's why Vitakka is mean you feel your mind. You're in that kind of state. Your mind is that is mean Vitakka. Vichara mean back. So that's a Vichara. And then you feel joy. And you feel Sukha, mean happiness. The happiness is a little subtle. Maybe in English it's different. We forget about English now because this is just a translation. So certainly Sukha is a much more subtle kind of happiness there. Or you could say the subtle form of the joy. And then Citta Ekagata means that you feel there's a focusedness. However, as we argue, but it look like in a Pali, in the original sutta, they don't have this term there. Might be the sutta, why they don't put this term is because it's always understood when you have these two, Vitakka, Vichara, applied thought and sustained thought, your mind is still not very, very stable. Probably that was a reason. But we forget about that now. We are not going to hear that in a deep discussion about that. But just want to know, this is called the first jhana. And in the second jhana, you removed, according to Abhidhamma, remember it say there are 5 jhana, but according to Sutta, there are 4 jhana. In other words, mean in the Sutta, when you say 4 jhana, mean if you want to reach the second jhana, you have to remove these 2. Okay, these 2 have to remove, and that's why you reach to Oni. So the second jhana is removed, and then you have only this 3 thing there in the second jhana. Okay. But the same thing in the third jhana, according to Abhidhamma, you need to remove this one, piti. So remove it. So and then third jhana. Okay. And then you only have this sukha, and this means joy, happiness, and one pointers as a third jhana. And when somebody in the reach to the fourth jhana, they have to remove the sukha, remove, so that he only got these one pointers in the fourth jhana. Okay, that's a simple list first. But actually, when you look at it, there's something is missing too. That what is missing, it's you could say that when somebody in the, even in Abhidhamma, anyone in Abhidhamma, like the second one, is okay. But actually, the second jhana, even in Abhidhamma, they also say a serenity should be there, right? So you should add serenity. What is the Pali term? I will just write serenity, maybe it's easier. You add serenity there. That is when you're in the second jhana. Sorry, I should write here. You add serenity. But when you're in the third jhana, what should be there?
Sati.
Yeah, mindfulness. Add mindfulness. And then, not only that. Huh? Yeah, equanimity. And then comprehension. Do they have a serenity?
No.
All right, good. No serenity. Well, in the fourth jhana, what I had to add to be there? Or what should sustain? Equanimity should sustain. Actually, this equanimity is different from the pure one.
Yeah.
This equanimity is a purified equanimity. I should write purified equanimity with sati. I will explain later, okay? With mindfulness. Do they have comprehension? No. According to Abhidhamma, no. All right. Is it Abhidhamma say that? No, Abhidhamma don't say that. That's a sutta, actually. We are talking about sutta already here, sorry. In Abhidhamma, it's very clear. If there's only thing to add, it just only adds in the second jhana, you have this serenity, and the third jhana, no, it's just only two things. And also, no, I think, yeah, only two factors, okay? There's even the serenity, only this, what we just mentioned. Any question?
We are still trying to absorb.
Just draw this.
Which?
Just
The
go
blue
and draw
one
this
is-
like this.
The blue one is Abhidhamma. The red is Sutta.
Maybe good to say that the blue one, yeah, the red is sutra. I must use the blue one too. This is second jhana, even though it's that, but you still have to add serenity. This is better. Okay, maybe best to say this. In Abhidhamma system, if it put in a simple way, how you should know that you're in the first jhana and second jhana and third jhana and the fourth jhana, of course, not only because you have the method, because the method does not say that whether you are in the jhana. The method will only teach you how you should enter the jhana, right? But when you're in the jhana, you must be able, according to the tradition, you must be able later on, not on the first time, discern whether these factors are there, okay? And according to Abhidhamma, that the factors is always know there's a vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, citta, ekagata in the first jhana. Or maybe simply, I mean, if you are not very good, you don't know this, but very important, you must know there's a vitakka and vichara. Okay, that's how you know you're in the first jhana. Okay. When people in the second jhana, so they have a piti, these two are removed. Piti generally means joy. You feel different kind of joy, the happiness. And that kind of joy, according to the even in Abhidhamma, they also put that then you should be have the prasadani. That means a kind of, actually I would translate this mean more like fulfilling. You feel there's a fulfilling feeling. I don't think serenity is a good term. Kind of fulfilling. And you have this more like fulfilling feeling there. Okay. And then when you are when you remove this joy, you don't remove the fulfilling, but you remove the joy. Okay, remove the joy, and then you come to just only a pure happiness there, like very settled down happiness. That's a reason why I remember even though in Abhidhamma say that way, but Abhidhamma also say in the text according to Sutta, they should have a upekkha too. That's the reason why this happiness is a kind of very settled down happiness, like a very calm happiness.
Refined.
Because it's very refined. Not like, this is what we call the piti. You have joy, joy, joy. So that's why I say the word I don't think is serenity, maybe more like satisfied joy. Wow, wow. Maybe sometimes strong, maybe sometimes weak. But when you come to the third jhana, when these three are removed in the third jhana, so that the sukha, according to sutta, or even Abhidhamma agree that sutta say that you have this kind of upekkha there also. Remember when you look at it, mean a kind of, that's the reason why I want to mention this to you, because when people are experiencing meditation, they definitely know. Sometimes they say, why just only sukha, but why I also feel really like equanimity there? So they also ask that question. So that might be explained why the sutta put that as equanimity, put it there. I mean, I just want to say, but because usually when people learn this, they only learn these five. But I guess that's not enough if you have to understand in the sutta way. So there's an equanimity also there. Actually, the equanimity is a kind. That equanimity comes because there's a pureness. All right. And the fourth one, when you remove the sukha, at the end you come to the citta ekaggata. Not only that, you do have a kind of very strong mindfulness and equanimity. But then in the fourth jhana, this purified equanimity with the mindfulness become much more stable. That's why that's the fourth jhana. All right. Okay. I know it don't make sense to you because I can understand if you never study this jhana thing, it's boring. But this is also, I guess it's the first time people try to put it this way. I let you know. Even why I want to say is that why it can explain why some people when they meditate, they feel differently, because they also say, how can I be in third jhana? Because I could feel only like a little joy there, but my complete experience is like equanimity, like that way. Okay, but if you only argue with Abhidhamma, that we have to argue about. But when you look at how even Abhidhamma agree that in the sutta they say this way, then you know that also explained. Okay. Okay, get it now? That's what I want to put that picture so that you have a much more bigger understanding of the jhana than just the Abhidhamma or, okay, yes.
When does serenity, according to Abhidhamma, when does serenity disappear?
That means in the third jhana. I would say that not the serenity. That will be called, they translate serenity here because just fulfilling, yeah, maybe.
So second jhana has fulfilling. Third jhana does not have fulfilling.
Because the equanimity is there. It's very hard to explain to you. When you have equanimity mind, you do not feel like, oh, wonderful. You just feel steady.
Without the sensation.
Yeah, you don't have that, how to say, oh, wonderful, nice. No, you just feel steady. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So in the third jhana, it's mentioning that one dwells in equanimity, mindful and aware, and enjoys happiness in body.
That's a sutta saying, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought like you don't feel the body like after the first jhana or something.
No.
You do.
You do. Because you didn't come for last week class?
I did.
I just said that in last week class, you could actually through the 5 stages of joy, that is actually maybe much to do with the body sensation.
Right, but that's to access concentration. Even afterwards, you can still feel the body.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Okay.
Mm.
But you don't feel the pain, you just feel happiness?
You might feel the pain. That's the reason why in the third jhana, according to the sutta, the pain is totally gone. The fourth jhana especially, the pain is totally gone. You do feel the pain. That's why I mean dukkha. But that kind of pain, it doesn't disturb you. You just know there's a nice and like the happiness and the pain. Yeah. That's why in the fourth jhana, you don't definitely no pain there. Yeah. Mm. Okay, no question? It's very boring class.
Bhante, can you speak more about the purified Upekkha Sati in the fourth jhana?
Well, I guess it's basically, I mean, usually it described that is because when your mind is so focused and that focus itself, that it's really purifying. And then with sati here means because the word actually might try to emphasize that your mindfulness will be really, you could understand the mindfulness itself is really pure mindfulness like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Does it mean someone couldn't have this mindfulness when it did a normal life?
No. According to the jhana system, no, certainly not. I mean, you could argue that the mindfulness, even you have, is not that kind of pure. Could that be enough for you to like go through your meditation? That's another argument. Okay, we have not discussed that yet. That some school definitely, like some other practice technique, they certainly believe that you don't need that kind of jhana, have that such a pure mindfulness so that you could still can go over. But don't forget, I guess in this book, maybe other book I forgot, but for sure in the sutta, that is in general understanding. You know, we are not going to talk about the rare case. It's very hard to talk about rare case. In general understanding, if you want to reach Arahant or reach third, like especially if you want to reach the third sainthood and the fourth sainthood, if you don't have this pure four jhana, pure mind, it's very hard. That's a technical belief. That's the reason why when this question been raised in a certain country about this meditation, they respond. They say, yes, we are not talking about this high advanced now. We are only talking people who do the mindfulness to become the first sainthood and second sainthood. We are not addressing the third sainthood and fourth sainthood. That's the response. In other words, indirectly agree that, because almost like very hard to deny according to the Buddhist text, that if you want to become Arahant or under sainthood, that you do not reach that state. Of course, again, there's a rare case that it happened also. But even though everybody who study really well in the Buddhism, they don't want to take that risk to say that. You know what I'm saying?
So if someone already attend Arahant, so what kind of real experience in his?
No, we are going to talk about insight meditation. We haven't go to that yet. Come on. If it attend Arahant so easy, I mean, the world is full of Arahant and the Buddha is nothing. I mean, to me, I mean, whatever we learn, even don't say about even meditation, because it's about refine your mind, right? Do you think refine your mind is so easy? Of course, you may can have a stable mind sometime. To refine your mind, come on, this is, I don't think. Whoever want to cheat me, fine. I don't believe it. It's not that easy. Think about in one day, what kind of mind you have in one day. Just think about that.
My question is,
Yeah.
if one already have become Arahant, so he always one point mind?
No. Did I say that?
No,
I don't know why. No, that is, you don't apply that kind of logic. No.
Why the Sambhajana is not presented in the fourth jhana? Only in third.
That's a good question, actually. I never thought about it. I should look at it. Did any explanation? At least in texture, why Sambhojana is not presented in the fourth jhana. Because Sambhojana require with the... Now, then that is a good question. Actually, Sambhojana, I mean the comprehension. Sometimes we translate comprehension, or sometimes we translate the right comprehension. Chinese is still... In Chinese, usually translate 正知. Sometimes even 这个知也是. That's fine. But I think the first one may be more. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you can write a paper. Why the Sambhojana is not there? Because that certainly, I guess, is a very... I cannot answer you that question, but somehow I have a hunch. Actually, the word understand the Sambhojana is really disputable. Yeah, I guess. Because for sure, Sambhojana have the meaning, carry the meaning means you understand something. So it carries that kind of meaning. You understand the something. Let's say you understand your posture. You understand what kind of mind you are now. Not just aware, but you understand. And I guess in the fourth jhana, whether they're there or not is not the main point. The point is that the awareness of in that kind of situation is more important than understand a thing. You see, in the third jhana, the Sambhojana is because you do understand there's a quietness there, and you understand there's joy, right? But in the fourth jhana, usually it's more like you're just aware, you're there. Very simple. But I mean, I don't know whether that explains. So
It's more embedded instead of applied.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I guess people have a question. Maybe you didn't ask, but one question is, people thought you do meditation, you are in that kind of jhana. Actually, you are in a jhana, you just kind of have that kind of quality. You could stay as long as you like, okay, that kind of quality. However, when you want to do insight meditation, whatever you do, you have to retreat yourself from the jhana, okay? That I guess people might get confused. When you retreat from the jhana, let's say, remember we have a term called access concentration. When you are in let's say you are in the first jhana, you have these 5 factors, predominantly these 2 factors as the main one. When you retreat from the first jhana, you're back to the access concentration, right? Almost like you retreat the jhana back to your platform, that like the access concentration. Even though you're back to the platform as an access concentration, still we don't say you are in access concentration. We say that you are in the first jhana concentration. Why? Because you carry the first jhana mind into the access concentration. Why? Because these 5 factors stay with you, and they stay with you. So the access concentration is no more called access concentration. We call that as absorption. Okay, in Pali term, abhana samadhi. You don't call that as the upachara samadhi, mean access concentration. You call that as absorption. Get it now? Okay, let me just say, I usually like to say this simile. Like you go to see a movie. Let's say you are very sad. I want to tell one story. One day, this is really funny story, but it's explain that. Why I want to use movie have to do that with this experience I have. It's because when I studied in England one time, I gave a paper to my supervisor. It looks like, I thought I did a really good job, but his response was really awful. I feel really disappointed, so disappointed, like almost like the world is going to collapse like that. You might not have this experience anyway. And you spend a lot of time to writing your thesis, and then you have a bad response. He was not scolding me. His reaction is, and I didn't understand. Anyway, I remember I was very sad. And then one of the Malaysian friend came to see me. He say, "Oh, Bante, what are you happy?" I say, "I'm not very happy, because whatever, blah blah blah." I said, and he said, "Why don't we go to see a movie?" Actually, I didn't go to see a movie in those days, but I just thought, because he was very nice, right? And I remember he also called another friend who studied Tibetan Buddhism. She actually also got a PhD at the end from Cambridge. And then he also called her, and we three of us go to see the movie. And we went to the cinema, and I was really still not happy. Of course, they tried to cheer me up. I still and then I went to see the movie. And the movie called, I forgot what's the name, suddenly. What's the name? Anyway, I said it, maybe you know. And I said, "Oh, we're going to see a horror movie. It looked like a horror movie, right? I think it's fine. I don't mind. I like horror movie too, fine." So I went inside. That was the first time I went to that in England, that movie, the cinema. And then when I saw the movie, it was actually not a horror. It was joking. Comedy. What is it? The name? I forgot. The girl. Yeah, Scary Movie.
What? Scary movie?
The movie name is called Scary Movie.
It's a parody of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, anyway,
Oh.
and I was like laughing because I didn't expect. And I was just laughing. I was just really perhaps I'm maybe one of the laughs the louder. And then when I finished, all my sadness was gone. I came up from the cinema, my mind was full of joy. And it stayed, especially because I didn't expect it was, I thought it was terrifying, horrifying thing. But it's laughing and joy and laugh. And three of us, especially I and the other woman, was laugh so loud. Because I and her also never expect that was a joke. We thought it was a horror movie, but actually it's a comedy. But anyway, laugh like that. So your mind stay out from that, right? Let's say that was like a first jhana. You are there in your first jhana all the time. And then you come out, what happened? You carry that mind, right? So, and especially you carry the mind, if you still keep on remembering somehow what happened in there, you still keep on that much more. But of course, if it suddenly you have a condition given you saying that, "Hey, well, your supervisor now asked you to leave, now you fell," of course then you maybe drop because that, you know what I'm saying now. That means, that's why I say when you're in the first jhana, even though in the first jhana, you retreat yourself back to the access concentration, you carry the first jhana power mind to do the observation of the Dharma. Okay? Get it now?
Okay.
All right.
So which means the five limbs of jhana coexist with five hindrances?
No.
But how do you explain
That's the reason why when you back to this access concentration place, in the term, you don't say you return to access concentration, you return to absorption. But you're still on the platform of access concentration. Because when I say platform here, I mean, we don't use the term. In Buddhism, we use the term, because you have the first jhana, so when you retreat from the first jhana, you are with the absorption mind, that means the first jhana mind. So you do you do your observation.
The mind concomitant could consist of those five limbs of jhana, right?
Let me see how to say that.
The chittasa, Chaitasika,
Cetasika.
Chaitasika could consist of those five.
That's a good question, actually. Let me see. Okay, that's interesting. Why? Because, yes, in the first jhana, but in the second jhana, they still can be different. In the first jhana, when you're back to the access concentration, you will have the vitakka vichara and all this, right? But in the second jhana, you're supposed we don't have the vitakka vichara, right? But unfortunately, when you're always in a platform of access concentration, you must also have a vitakka and vichara.
Oh, because the universe of Cetasika.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but
So in other words, let's say you are in the second jhana. The first jhana is easy to explain, but the second jhana is a little difficult to explain because even in the second jhana, and then you return back to the access concentration, you still carry the vitaka vichara, of course, in a very refined way. Yeah.
Then, again, my question is, so can those mental factors coexist with hindrances?
No.
Then how do you observe the hindrance, the dhamma?
So
Say, for example,
That's
if
why-
someone enter a
no.
and
That's
then
why.
come out
That's why you are.
access,
That's why you are not in the jhana. You are out of the jhana. You carry the jhana power.
Then what do you mean by carrying jhana power? I thought carrying a jhana power means you have mind concomitant with all those jhana factors.
No. I mean, maybe best to describe other way now. Let's say when you are in the jhana, right? You have this kind of thing, almost like you're watching this fight movie.
Right? And those
Right.
are
When you are out of it, you carry this kind of the quality, but it doesn't mean that you have you do not. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see. Yes and no, okay? As a beginner, I wanted to say beginner. That's a reason, that's a complicated part. When someone is a beginner, when they return to the access concentration, you could say that this thing is not there. Okay? You could argue that. It just only carry a kind of purified mind. That means your mindfulness and your comprehension is very good. So it's much more refined. You could say it that way. All right. Now, the difficult part is not this part. The difficult part is explain when somebody, even if they're really good, they are in the jhana, they can observe this as their mind factors. That is because in the text it's always explained that is because that person is in the jhana. Or put it this way, maybe you can argue in Chinese mean you could do you could do this inside meditation out of the jhana, and you could do the inside meditation in the jhana. Okay. When you're out of the jhana, you don't have to find hindrances also, but you can bring that up.
Bring the hindrances up.
Let's say when I bring that, I mean, let's say I remember.
observe the five hindrances.
You can, let's say I remember before I entered the jhana when the five hindrances was there. This is how you bring it up, right? Okay. Okay, let's just say
Okay.
that's the reason why in the text there are lots of complicated theory. Actually, in practice, it's very simple to explain. Like when I'm sitting, I have jhana already.
Right.
If I have jhana, I definitely have no anger.
Yeah.
That's for sure. When you have anger, there's no jhana. This is 100% sure, okay? Then I can bring the anger, right? Even though it's different. Like I'm thinking, okay, what make me anger? Then you saw the anger, but it's still different. You do not disturb by that. You just see, how the anger looks like.
But that's when
That's in you in the access concentration.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But if you have the first jhana and you have the fourth jhana, to check the anger, the quality is still different. Almost like the microscope is one more refined than the other, like that.
So you mean when you do the inside meditation, if you just in the first jhana, out of the first jhana, when you examine the hindrances, the quality is different from when you're out of the fourth jhana,
Yeah.
you do the,
Yeah, or without the jhana.
okay, so you kind of, your ability to examine is stronger and stronger.
It's more refined and more refined.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm so glad that I see the extra two papers tonight because I was reading the book. I didn't really understand the jhana stages. I just want to also share my experience continue from last time.
Yeah.
You said that was jhana experience when I mentioned my dream. And then when I looking at the paper, now I remembered my stages also went through these stages. At that time, I remember I had a big challenge, and it's sort of all passed, all done, and I feel in the early morning I woke up, I feel so peaceful, so satisfied, and grateful for being there, and my kids in the next room, and everything's so good. And I suddenly feel the full joy and peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, I told myself, I can die without regret.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like there's nothing to worry about, and
Mm.
my mind just stay there. And that's when that suddenly happened. I went to the tunnel and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just like that. So I think maybe those are the mind stages, like just.
They're the mind
like that.
stages, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just right before. I thought it's a dream, but it wasn't. I think I did wake up, and I did think through all the stages. So.
Okay, great. Okay, right. All right, I guess I know that today's information a little bit heavy, but I definitely know because since we talked to Jhana, I guess we must have a better. Of course, like he's asking a little tougher question. That's still, anyway. I mean, we at least I'm sure you have a better. I would say the better format understanding, what the Jhana factors are, and in the future, definitely you'll find it very useful in many ways. Yeah, even in maybe people giving you a different theory, then somehow you know why, or somehow you get much more clearer. I think this is one reason why you study Buddhism. You are not based on one way of saying, but what actually the Buddha trying to introduce us as a what we call fundamental, or the what they call the 基础 the foundation. What is the foundation? Yeah. Okay. We must understand we study Buddhism. We are not we are not in favor of what school and which people and that people. That's okay. That's everyone is different. So okay. It took me a long time too. In all the day, we always influenced by the teacher because he say that, because he say that, because he say that. So, but of course, you still, when you follow a teacher, you need to follow his way, at least more or less, if he's really good, Okay, let's do the transformator and we will end up today's class. Thank you for your coming. So, yeah.
Bhavantu Sabba Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhanubhavena Satta Soti Bhavantu De Bhavantu Sabba Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhammanubhavena Satta Soti Bhavantu De Bhavantu Sabba Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sanghanubhavena Satta Soti Bhavantu De.
Sadhu, 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 sadhu. I'm